Welcome all to this plenary meeting. The first item of business today will be questions to the First Minister, and the first question is from Huw Irranca-Davies.
What representations will the First Minister make to the UK Government to support the case for retaining Zimmer Biomet jobs in Bridgend?
Well, Dirprwy Lywydd, the meeting is being arranged between the Minister for Economy and the Secretary of State at the Department for Business and Trade to discuss the proposed closure of the Zimmer Biomet Bridgend plant. The Welsh Government's priority is to do all we can to safeguard as many jobs as possible.
First Minister, I'm delighted to hear that active engagement because, buoyed by sales of knee and hip replacements and improving procedure rates, Zimmer Biomet started this year with, I quote, a phenomenal quarter where pretty much everything went better than expected. The CEO, Brian Hansen, said back in May. The company reported a 10% increase in revenue and net income 16 times what it was a year earlier. They subsequently increased its top and bottom line forecast for 2023, now expecting revenue to increase by 5 to 6% compared to its previous expectations of 1.5 to 3.5% increase. Happy days for Zimmer Biomet. So, First Minister, we're even more in the dark about the reasons for the shock announcement by them to consult on withdrawing over 540 manufacturing jobs from their long-standing base in Bridgend. We suspect this is a decision made in the US of A in a very distant boardroom. So could you and ministers do all you can to urge UK ministers to join the calls for this hugely profitable global corporation, which seems to have lost its moral compass, to think again, show loyalty to the workforce and the locality which has shown its loyalty for decades? And if they fail to listen, as they failed to engage throughout this saga so far, then can you assure these employees that every support from Employability Wales will be given to ensure those skills are not wasted, the years of experience count for something, and the workers can go on to fruitful employment with other companies who might treat them with the respect and the decency that surely every worker deserves?
Well, Dirprwy Lywydd, the member for Ogmore raises a whole series of very important points there on behalf of that very loyal and very successful workforce, and indeed that sense of a company that has rather lost its way in recent times in the proper conduct of its relations with both the Welsh Government and with other public authorities. Not only has the Minister arranged to meet the Minister of State at the Department for Business and Trade, but he wrote to the Senior Vice President of the company immediately on the news and met the management team at the factory on the 6th of July. And as my colleague Von Gethin said here on the floor of the Senedd last week, our aim is to try to save jobs rather than accept that jobs are going. And in that, there is an echo in the letter that we received from the Senior Vice President at the very end, dated the very end of June, when he says at the very start of his letter, we have not yet reached a decision. And that is very important, because that gives us 6 months in order to understand better the background to the proposals and then to try to influence it to a different conclusion. We will, of course, mobilise all the help that is there for workers who find themselves in this situation, should the need arise, but our focus for the immediate future is on direct conversations with the company, better understanding of their position, and then the effort to move things in a different direction.